Welcome back, everyone. I am more than excited to show you what I have in this box. As you already saw in the thumbnail, it is exactly what I was looking for a long time. So let's take it out of this brown box. So yes, this is exactly what I was looking for. Floating Monsters Reaper, 5 foot tall. Yeah, I'm just so happy that I finally have my hands on one of these guys. I made my own Reaper, as you guys probably saw if you look through my channel. But this is an original. Life of your party. Makes scary sounds as I float around the room. Watch him dance from side to side as he moves across the floor. It's from the 3 foot model. Wanders around the room, backs up and spins around. And they have all the instructions back here. Everybody knows how to set these guys up. They're really simple. Let's see what we got inside the box. So it looks like this is also covered in cardboard. We have the famous black base. Remember, it's a kind of attached to the hand. We then have the Grim Reaper itself. I've never seen this guy in person, so this is really big for me. Yeah. Oh yeah, and his sleeves is not glued on. I'll glue it on my own time, but this is a little smaller than I expected. It's a tiny head. It's got the lights in the hood. Hopefully the lights work. It only came with 2 poles because the seller did tell me it's missing poles, but not to worry. I just bought a large pole from the Home Depot, which is pretty much the exact same size as these, so I literally could make my own poles, or I can even make this whole setup if I wanted to. But for right now, I'm just going to attach these 2 for my ghost, my 5 foot ghost, and then I'm going to make it a full 5 feet, just to show you how it looks. Okay, I have them set up here in my room. Yeah, ignore the mess around me. I'm trying to fix my shoe rack, so all my shoes are kind of stuffed right here, but yeah, he is a full 5 feet. I also have here my Utter Witch and my 5 foot ghost, light face ghost, my second witch over here, and then the Reaper. He definitely seems a little smaller than the rest, which is interesting. He's probably about the same height as the witch, but for like the 5 foot ghost, he's maybe slightly bigger than him, taller. But yeah, it's just crazy. I guess all this detail I've never seen before in person, so it's so cool to see. He has his lights over here, and 2 LEDs, and then very posable arms. That's really cool to see. And unfortunately, he doesn't work from what the seller was telling me. They tried putting batteries and nothing works, but no biggie for me, because I plan on working on this thing on my own, either using a separate Roomba base, but I'm definitely be fixing the lights if I can't get the base to work. I do have a battery pack I could test on it, a separate battery pack. I could replace the wires and use it for my battery pack, see if that works for the base. And yeah, if it doesn't work, yeah, I'm obviously going to use the lights for a battery pack as well. Maybe I'll try to keep the sound, and I could use it on a RC Roomba or something like that. But yeah, I just want to see what I can do with this guy for now. If it doesn't work, I'm obviously going to put the batteries in and see what happens. So if nothing works, then yeah, then I'm going to take it a step further and start a new project. But he looks awesome like this. Okay, now that I did some thinking, like deep thinking, maybe I have seen this in person. I probably have to be like maybe 3 or 4 years old though. I just have a slight memory because I still kind of remember that day where I bought this guy, but as a 3 foot version, which I still have that I'm working on. Yeah, that 3 foot version I had ever since I went to that spirit back, I think it was 2008. I was like 3 years old, but I just have that tiny little piece of memory I just remember seeing the floating ghost moving around. And I think I remember seeing this guy in person. I remember telling my mom, hey, I want this guy, I think. And I remember I wanted this one like more than that one, to be very honest, back then. I don't know. I thought this guy seemed a lot cooler. But my mom said it was too scary. She didn't like it. Yeah, unfortunately, my mom isn't the biggest fan of my decor. She specifically hates like rosemary, wacky mole. Like these guys, she says they're cool. That she literally bought this guy for me as a 3-foot because she thought it was cooler and like more friendly looking. I don't know. But then like when she saw that guy, she was just like, hell no. I remember like I couldn't ever get that guy. But now I got him. So yeah, 21 years old. I'm so happy to have this guy now. I mean, he's not working, but he could be a great project. But yeah, I started remembering him a little bit. So yeah, now I remember that I really wanted this guy more than the light-faced ghost. So that's that. All right, so I have here the poles I want to replicate right here, and I already made a dot on where I need to cut it. I'm gonna use a chainsaw because obviously this is for my ghost, so I can't really use that, but let's use it on this base. And it's literally the same size, so it'll fit perfectly. I just kind of have to glue it on. I don't mind. So yeah, I'm just gonna cut it, and then I'm gonna glue that right on. So yeah, this pole will be great to pretty much make any kind of floating monster, I would say. And I'm about to show you guys, that's pretty good. For like about $6, you can get a pretty decent pole to make monsters. So there's that. Alright, as you can see, there was a bit of corrosion, which is why it wasn't working. So I'm gonna be using my sandpaper. I've been trying to get rid of it for the most part, but I think I have to go in a little more because it kind of has bad contact. So still, see if I can get rid of most of that gunk, and hopefully it should work without a problem. So I'll see about that. I'll keep scrubbing and I'll be right back. I also removed the try me button on here. I don't need it, you know, so I just took it out. Okay, so I have the pole right here. I'm gonna be putting on top. Yeah, it's not that even. I tried cutting it as best as I could, but I mean, it will stand. And yes, this is the original 3-foot ghost that I've had since I was little. This is when I bought a spirit back in the day. My parents said this was a lot kid-friendly, cooler looking than this guy. So, you know, I'm just so glad I have him. So, yeah. Alright, so I actually just decided to maybe skip this step for now because I don't really have the glues for it right now and the stuff I want to make it work. So right now it's just using my ghost poles again, so it's unfortunate, but hopefully I get to actually do something about it. Let's see. But yeah, here's how he stands. And he actually works. I'm actually very fucking surprised. It literally was just that corrosion part that messed it up. So, he is a little weird. So sometimes he will turn on, sometimes he won't. I just really have to adjust the batteries, move them a little bit, and then it should work. So like, let's see if I can turn it on right now. Oh, 1 second, that's silent. Probably should have read, my bad. But yeah, he's pretty much working. Maybe I had to clean the the corrosion a little more, but I think it's pretty much good to go. And you can see he's blinking a little. Here, let me move him somewhere else. I think his one of the gears might be split, but that's honestly something else I could work on another time. But Yeah, he does get stuck and he won't really move. I mean, he does, but like, there's times where he doesn't, so maybe there's something weird about his gears. Sorry about the mess again. So yeah, he's pretty much working. Yeah, this guy is quite tall. He's pretty much stands pretty much to my shoulder length. I'm like 5'10", so you know, he's a pretty decent size. I don't know. I thought he would be bigger, but I feel like it's just his head. He has a tiny head, you know. My other ones have way bigger heads than this, so yeah. But he's overall pretty awesome. As you see, he works, so I don't really need to do any other modifications. Even though I did have other stuff ready, to be honest. Like, I do have Roombas that I'm just not gonna use for cleaning and use for making monsters, so making them work. So, you know, I could always find one of these guys, like, you know, hey, if it doesn't work, like this description said, if I can't really do anything about the base, or even if I can't do anything about it anymore, I always have plan B, where I'm just going to swap this onto the Roomba and make it stand from there. I just have to figure out how to make it stand, but it should probably work. And the battery pack for the lights. I don't really care personally if it doesn't blink or not, because it won't blink if it's just a battery pack. You know, it's just gonna stay on like that the whole time until we turn it off. So yeah, I think I could see this guy lasting for quite a bit on both plans, just leaving him as is. Hopefully it'll last a couple seasons if I could just fix the corrosion so it just, you know, works without a problem. Or I could just, you know, swap to the base at some point, the Roomba. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this guy. He's awesome. I'm so glad to find him. I've been wanting him for so long, and I finally have my hands on one. So another floating monster from my collection. You guys know I've been collecting floating monsters. I built myself that Reaper. Those are awesome, you know. So I definitely really want to see these guys come back someday. Hopefully Tekky will remake these characters or make some new guys, like tall, you know, like at least 5 feet. So that's you know, something we're hoping to see come back. But yeah, vintage classic Tekky item. I'm so glad to have them. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it to the end, check out my other videos on my floating monsters. I definitely have quite a few. You gotta check them out. Goodbye.